from Georgia, Mr. Allen, for 5 minutes for his questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this important hearing. I want to thank the witnesses for testifying today. Obviously, we highlighted the importance of critical minerals in our everyday life and why we should not be reliant on China for those critical materials. And it's a matter of national and economic security that the U.S. be a leader in this critical mineral economy. Ms. Sweeney, what is the status of critical minerals mining in the U.S., and how has the U.S. capacity changed over time, particularly in the last administration?
So in 2022, we became our most import-reliant ever. The trend lines have not been great. We used to be a leader of many of these supply chains, particularly directly after World War II and into the Cold War. But we have ceded that territory mainly to China, and with that, we cede all the economic value that goes with the processing of those minerals.
Critical minerals production, processing, and refining are energy-intensive processes. If we're to build up domestic energy to help supply critical materials, are there any energy infrastructure components that we need to consider?
I think you keyed on a very important issue. In order to scale up on processing, you got to power up, and the mining companies will pay for it if you give them the certainty on a reasonable pathway forward. You're absolutely correct, and it's not just on the energy; it's also on the rail and other infrastructure as well.
Right. Anybody else like to comment on that?
Yeah, I think we need to make sure that we're considering reliable, affordable baseload power.
Right, exactly. Ms. Hunter, when China began investing in critical mineral supply chain in the 80s and 90s, they went from a small share of the market, and now they dominate the market. In 2023, the U.S. produced less than 20% of China's output. How did China end up monopolizing the market like this?
This is a very concerted long-term strategy that the CCP has been laying out and implementing for decades. The Made in China 2025 plan really delineates clearly what they're trying to do with increasing imports of feedstock materials, leveraging recycled inputs, and then dominating in the processing midstream so that they can lead on advanced technologies that rely on these technically converted materials. They use illegal subsidies, direct and indirect. They use $57 billion in lending to foreign nations between 2020 and 2021 to access minerals abroad. And they use market manipulation tools that have been talked about already, but dictating prices and influencing them in their favor, consolidating their market control.
Well, we've watched this for some time, and I don't know, why the alarm bells have not gone off before now. And of course, we're dealing with, again, Congress is saying we got to get this done, and then the agencies are like, well, we have to delay it further. I mean, it's critical. I mean, what lessons can we learn from this, from their monopolization of this going forward, and how do we get off the dime here?
I'm always reluctant to say we should take a page from the CCP's book, but their consistency and on policy and then also monitoring the market dynamics and competitors to adjust as needed has been very successful in maintaining their control. So given the bipartisan nature of this issue, I think consistency and leveraging whatever we can to help American competitiveness, but also supporting a diversification of the market will insulate us from the undue control that they exert over us today. I agree with your assessment. We cannot continue to operate complacently.
Well, I'm about out of time, but I've got a few more questions here that I'll submit for the record. Thank you again very much for your testimony, and obviously we've got to get off the dime here and get with it, and I think we'll figure that out. Thank you for your help. I yield back.